West Cork Beard Company make beard oil and beard balm for a strong, healthy, great-looking beard. Handmade from all natural ingredients in Clonakilty, West Cork. Check out their YouTube channel for beard care tips and advice, or catch them online at westcorkbeardcompany.ie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to I've got feedback. Hang on. Jesus. You would think this is my first time doing this. No, I don't have any feedback.
Who brought the dick?
Yeah, right. All right, we're good. Yeah, so what's up, guys? How we doing? Ryan?
Yeah. Definitely night and day.
Did you just knee me? Was that a knee?
No. No, I did not.
What the hell noise did you just make?
I don't know. I didn't make a noise. Definitely a night. Maybe I was going to say night. Definitely a night and day situation. I had to wake up in 7 a.m. to watch us probably, in my opinion, definitely play the worst game of football that I think I've ever played, as far as I can remember. To this, where I think we played really well, and 3 points and go us. Yeah, Gunners, yeah. I don't know.
You just yeah, right.
I'm gonna adopt it as my own, since a certain player that says it all the time isn't here anymore. I could just adopt it. He didn't patent it. I'm stealing it.
Hey, Stan.
I think all five of them probably did.
Hey, Stan. You know what happens when you try to reference a certain player that isn't here anymore. You know what happens when you have to use his hashtag catchphrase? You know what happens? Do you know what happens? You know what happens, Ryan?
I'm looking for okay.
Actually, you know what I think should happen?
Yeah.
And Rohan is here. Wasn't thinking you were gonna jump in here, but welcome, man.
I managed to wake myself up after going to sleep at 4 in the morning, watching Arsenal till 4 in the morning here. And then
wait, so what time is it for you right now?
It's 8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'm
trying to figure out the time difference in my head.
The time difference is 10 and a half hours.
10 and a half hours. Interesting. Okay. So how are you, man? Glad you could make it.
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody where you are?
Yeah, I'm in India right now.
We're global, baby. We're global.
Mm-hmm. This is same old Arsenal, USA, Canada, and India. Now Asia's getting
right.
Yeah. So I'm in India. I flew in over the weekend, and I'm gonna be here.
So what time's it over there, Rohan? What time is it, mate?
It's 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 a.m.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So the game started at 1:45 a.m. It's a killer.
Wow.
Absolute killer.
Wow.
This reminds me of
that's one where you just start drinking the night before and just keep going.
It reminds me of my college days, right? So generally once the daylight saving started, it started
So I was just going to say, what? Drinking loads of beer and shagging cheerleaders, but
it would start at 12:45, but then this time from November through March is an absolute killer because it starts at 1:30, 1:45 a.m. So the last hour you don't know what to do. You're too tired to stay up, but you know that you can't sleep for an hour or something. You're not gonna get up. So yeah, you just have to power through it. So
yeah.
That.
Stan, how are you, sir?
Mate, I'm okay, mate. It's good, not so bad over here in Vancouver. It's getting a bit chilly. So we've had 2 games of football now since we last had a chat. So I probably don't have much to say about that first one, the first Southampton one, because I missed it by accident. So it would have been 4 o'clock in the morning to get up for that. And I totally forgot that Dazan doesn't have the FA Cup on that particular thing. I thought I could get up a little bit later, cheat, watch the replay. So when I got up at 9 o'clock and I saw that it wasn't there, and I realised, I started searching for like a download, and inadvertently, obviously trying to find a download, I discovered the starting lineup and the final score, and I just thought to myself, "Fuck that shit." I don't think that's 90 minutes of my life that I'm not willing to give away. So I didn't watch it.
Yeah. It would be tough if that would happen. I wouldn't have watched either. I'm pretty upset that I actually did watch, to be honest with you. Yeah.
It's horrible.
So that's 2 years, 2 years. Felt like 2 years watching it. Jesus, it's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Why was it that bad? Because I've seen it on social media, and obviously I saw that, some of the, what the starting lineup was, but why was it so dreadful? What was the difference between that and what we've seen just recently, with like ESR in the team?
Let me hold that thought real quick. Ryan, have you ever had flower power?
I have, yes. I've had flower power.
Get the beer stuff out of the way here. I've had flower power. I love flower power, actually. It's a delicious IPA. Somebody else brought up Purple Haze.
Purple Haze
that is not Ithaca. Purple Haze is Abita. It's actually brewed down in New Orleans. But I'm like,
and Greg, I'm shocked. I've had that beer with you at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's a long time ago, but I've had that beer with you.
So anyway, do you want to throw out your beer of the week here?
Yes.
Real quick, and then we'll come back to Stan's question.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of easy. Like I kind of said, Saturday's game was just miserable. I felt horrible watching it, getting up at 7 a.m. I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, whatever. Watched this game, kind of laying on the couch, just hanging out, chilling, and it was a good game, So I got Tummy Tickler. It's actually called.
Where did you get this stuff from, man? Where did you get it?
You. There's got to be a real good beer joint up in.
You know what? I think man's making it in his basement, and
it's Hog River Brewing. I don't know where it's from, but yes, Tummy Tickler Tropical Fruit Punch Sour Ale. I'm a big fan of sours, so yeah.
I feel like I need a root canal just listening to you say that. I feel like I just contracted diabetes.
Why? Me saying Tummy Tickler?
No, because of tropical fruit punch. Jesus.
I like sour beers. Yeah, that's weird.
I'm an IPA guy.
Nice.
Glenn, I think we know what you're up to tonight. So anyway, come back to Stan's question here. So Rowan, you watched, did you get to watch Saturday?
I did watch it, and it was dreadful. There's not much to say. Changed lineup, the usual suspects. Willian in the team, Pepe, who yesterday did okay, but or today or last night, or I don't know what day it is right now. Like in the second game, he did okay, but all of the usual suspects just didn't perform, and there was no selection headache. There was no nothing. We had a couple of chances, but again, Enkedia showing that he's not up to it. All of the other guys as well.
Did Eddie
Sorry?
I said, did Eddie have anything? Did he have any bites? Did he have any sniffs of anything of goal?
He tried to. There were a couple of times he poked the ball and it went wide, etc. But there was nothing. I didn't feel like there was any contribution of note there that really felt like, oh, this was a gilt-edged chance that he should have scored. I mean, there was nothing that he did that was exceptional, and it just showed. The difference was that there was no Saka, there was no ESR, there was no, the usual impetus in the team was not there. In the second game as well, we went down. We had a really good chance early on with Lacazette, which he should have buried. Yeah. He could have taken it around. I don't know why he didn't. But we went down, but there was drive in the team to get back. That drive wasn't there on Saturday. That's what I felt.
Yeah, Ryan, you want to jump in there on Stan's question?
What? What was Stan's question
about
Eddie?
Basically, it was why were we so shit?
I'm just thinking about getting my tummy tickled watching the game earlier because it was a fun game to watch. No, I think Eddie. I actually kind of disagree with him a little bit. I think Eddie had a few chances that I think he should have scored. He's just not good enough. I don't see it. I don't really know. That's a whole can of worms that we've talked about. Maybe we will talk about later. The whole Balogun and anything, and we're not in a good situation with either player, and I could see us losing both. Whereas in certain situations, it's fine. We could lose both players. I mean, we can't really afford to lose Balogun, but if his demands are what if his demands are what the media is reporting, I know media, pinch of salt. He hasn't proved himself yet. Yeah, he has potential. Yes, I think he's going to be that player. Yes, I do think he's someone we need to keep. At all costs. But when you look at it, if someone's demanding to get more money, he's demanding more money than like what ESR is getting right now. And ESR is playing for us right now. He's getting minutes. He's in the starting lineup week in, week out. Balogun has he even came on as a sub in the Premier League? I don't know. So it's a very difficult situation, but
is that really what's going on then? Like they're in contract negotiations and he's asking for more money than someone that's just broke into the first team.
So I could have read this tweet wrong, but I read a tweet that we're trying to extend.
I did hear there's I heard, and I saw it again today. I heard the number that there were 15 teams interested in talking to Balogun because obviously his contract's going to come to an end.
I think he wants to stay. I think he wants to play for us, but I think he thinks him and his agent think that they have all the leverage, which I don't think they necessarily do. And it's very telling when after we lose that game on Saturday, he posts an Instagram video of one of his goals, which was filthy and amazing, U23 level, but nonetheless, it was a very nice goal, and I do think he is going to be a player for us. But you can't. You can't. Like I was saying before, I saw on Twitter, we're trying to extend DSR's contract. I think right now, either we're going to give him 40,000 a week, or he's making 40,000 a week. Balogun wants close to 70 to 80,000 a week, so it's like that doesn't really make much sense.
Martin Odegaard gets 38 grand a week, so I mean, it's like
it's really and he obviously wants guaranteed first team experience, and to me, I don't think Arteta is going to budge. I think Arteta is a stickler for the hierarchy, and he's a stickler for bringing players up to the ranks. And I think if we do sign Balogun, I think he's immediately going to go out on loan. I think we're going to loan him out to a show and. To a show. I read Tony's thing. We're gonna loan him out to a team, and we'll see. But I don't know. It's looking grimmer.
You would not be happy with that, though, right?
Okay.
Thanks for the 60, 70 grand a week contract. I'll go out on loan now. Is it going to be like that, or what? Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, I think we've seen a lot of Eddie. Right? Eddie's had a lot of minutes, and now that we've got a formation where we've got somebody else in the midfield, and I didn't see that game. Was Eddie playing, when we were playing the striker really further back, almost as another midfielder? Was he playing like that, deep, like as a 4-8, or was he up there and around and about in the box all the time?
Yeah, I saw him rotating between, our top lone striker and like left midfield. I saw him in the left sometimes, in the middle. But I didn't really see him working.
So there's no excuse then, is there? There's no excuse that, he's having to come all the way back to the centre circle and, he's far away from goal. So there's
like I said, I think this is, it's an unfortunate situation for the club because I think, like I said, I think Balogun thinks that, all the leverage is in his camp and like he can post videos of his wonderful goals in the U23s and, while we sit here lose to, Southampton. and what's not helping is Eddie's not doing us any favors. You want Eddie to kind of rise to the occasion and kind of almost put that impetus in the club and in Balogun to be kind of like, well, you want all these demands, Balogun, but you have Eddie knocking at the door, but he's not. He's he closed the door, took his hat, took his jacket, and he's already around the block, leaving his house. So I don't really know where as a club we go from here, because to me you kind of have to sell Lacazette this season in the summer and kind of see if you can generate some kind of money. And there's talk actually us being linked to, funny enough, Danny Ings, which I would absolutely love. I think it would be a great pickup for us. Because I think we do have a lot of young attacking talent. Like Dave said in the chat, Moeller, I think is going to be someone to look out for. I think he's someone that we kind of need at the moment, where he holds up play really well. He's a big guy. Physically, I don't think he's there yet. I think he needs time, but he's definitely someone to look out for if Balogun doesn't sign.
Speaking of strikers, I did read today as well that one of my favourites up at Celtic, Odyssean Edouard, who I'm quite hot on, he's just changed his management team to the same management team as Kieran Tierney.
Ooh. I actually heard he's linked with a move to West Ham, though. Sorry, Stan.
I heard
West Ham are looking at him. So
yeah, I heard that too. I tell you what, man, they're not a bad club, boy. We got 3 points against them at just the right time. West Ham, they just don't stop, man. They're just not stopping. Stan, to your original question, which was why were we so shit on Saturday?
Yeah.
I mean, there are just players in this side that just aren't good enough. It's that simple. They're just not good enough to play the kind of system that Arteta wants to play.
Any special shout outs there? Like, how are you talking about? Obviously, I suppose William's in there, right? Because I saw
Willian. Eddie.
Where did William start? Was he playing as in the 10 role, or was he on the wing?
He was on the left. What? No. I gotta sit here.
I think he was in the middle, but I don't even know.
He was on the left. Martinelli was on the left. Yeah, Willian was in the middle. He was the 10.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Did he do anything?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And it's funny because we talk about how when a team plays well, it's a team. It's a team win. It's a well-oiled machine. Every piece was moving correctly to do the right things to make us succeed in victory. I would honestly, for the Saturday game, I would say the exact opposite, in where all the pieces moved together in such a way that it just made us perform like shit. And we were just so bad. I think every piece had to move a certain way for us to be so bad. I think everybody in the field, there was no, to me, usually I'll find one person or one, oh, they were all right. They're okay. I don't think anybody was, I mean, you could say Leno, I guess, but I don't think he had really much to do. But and I almost, I bring. Oh, I'm almost having hot flashes here.
It was that.
No, because the goal that Southampton scored.
OG, right?
Yeah. So Walker Peters took a shot. It deflected off of Gabriel and went. It went under Leno. I think it went 5-hole on Leno. Okay. Definitely not a goal he could save. It was a heavy deflection. I think had the shot not been deflected, I think he would have.
Was it a deflection because Gabriel stuck his leg out, or was he just kind of in the wrong place?
I think. Oh, geez, now you're asking me too many questions. I think he stuck his leg out of it. Yeah, it was like a cross, and it deflected off Gabriel's leg
from the edge of the box. Or maybe it was a shot. I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but Gabriel put a leg out because he was the first man there. He couldn't let it run across the 6-yard box, and unfortunately, it got deflected and went into the far post. Went in off the far post.
But anyway, so when that goal happened, I saw a couple people, not a lot, but I saw 1 or 2 people tweet about it. I think I responded because there goes Tanner. I responded saying they said something along the lines of this is why we sold the wrong goalkeeper. Leno needs to make that save, and it was like it just I got wide eyed like a deer in headlights. Like wait, what? Like it clearly took a huge deflection. Like there was no way.
Is there? What are you supposed to do? Change your direction in midair?
Yeah, I mean, play Runnerson, I guess. Who knows? I don't know. But no, we do have Matty Ryan now. So I don't want to say I was surprised because I do think how for a goalie to bet it for a keeper to bet into the club, you think like he could play, you can throw him in there, it'll be fine. But I do understand him not playing. I kind of get it. And yes, alongside, I do love big German men, but.
There was no creativity. There were no. Did we put the goal in?
Was
it? Would we have shots on target? Or was there nothing going on? How does that happen?
A
lot of backward passing and all that again.
It was nothing. Like we got into, I guess, semi-dangerous areas, but we just looked like it was almost, in training when I still play, but when I was playing like in more serious teams, you'd always start off playing keep away. You'd always just, mess around, kind of warm up, pass the ball around, play a little keep away. I feel like that's what we were trying to do. We didn't really want to score. We didn't really want to be there. We were just like, they were just like warming up and didn't really care. And it was very strange. It was as if like, it was just all pieces.
You know what?
Coming together and just not functioning.
You've got to think, right, that at Arsenal behind the scenes, on the training ground and, canteen, just daily life in and around all, behind the scenes at Arsenal when it's not a match day. It must be quite a funny vibe, right? Because we've kind of put ourselves into a situation now where the people that, when it's important games and we're looking to get points in the league, the people that must be on the team sheet, that with names that we want there, we've got people like Saka. We've got someone like ESR, Martinelli, now that he's working his way back from his fitness, And then you've got the people that are playing support in a cup game or what have you. People like Willian, who's on like 220 bags a week. You've got people, Nicolas Pepe, who we've committed to invest 72 million pounds on. And they're the ones that are kind of like playing the second fiddle and the backup. It must be a weird dynamic at Arsenal behind the scenes having it like that. Do you know what I mean? Because in any other normal world, in another universe, it should be the other way around.
I mean, the only thing that's weird about that, or what they should be feeling weird about, or what they should really be feeling, in my opinion, is embarrassment, because
exactly.
the young guns are showing them the way, right? And Saka, especially the way he played yesterday, for me, he was my man of the match. The way he played yesterday.
Very good.
There's leadership. Not in terms of yelling and pulling the team, but in terms of the way he plays and the impetus and the drive and where he wants to get into positions, how he puts the ball in, playing on the opposite side. Again, I was a bit surprised because I thought that with Martinelli not playing, Saka would go on the left again, and Pepe would come on the right, because Pepe is the expensive guy and he needs to play where his preferred position is, right? But that didn't happen. Saka is in form. He's playing well on the right. He played there, and Pepe had to accommodate and go over on the left, right? So that's...
I was thinking about that it's very telling that he's brought Nicolas Pepe into the team and he's got Saka in the team, but he's still keeping Saka on the right-hand side. Did you know what I mean? You'd think that, Saka's come up through the ranks playing on the left a lot, and he's been playing on the right, and it seems he can play, he plays anywhere, right? He plays good. So you would think that you would slot Nicolas Pepe on the right and just shift Saka to the left. When I saw that, I was like, that's very telling. So perhaps that is going to be Saka's true position, is on the right-hand side.
Especially with Martinelli too. I think that's something that we kind of need to do, because I think Martinelli is that guy that's going to take over Aubameyang on the left, not Saka. So
that is filthy. Can you imagine that? Saka on the right and Martinelli on the left. That's just rudeness, mate. Pure rudeness.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Keeping him up. Fucking hell.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. I lost power there for a little bit for the 4th time tonight. So, and I kind of feel it myself here, but so missed a little bit of that. But yeah, I was actually to Stan's point. I was actually kind of surprised too when I saw that Saka stayed out on the right and he just moved Pepe across to the left. And hey, at the end of the day, credit to Mikel Arteta because it worked. Didn't start off real well, but it worked today. So Ryan and I were having a bit of a conversation about some player ratings that I had done earlier. And so I'm going to give Ryan an opportunity to call me out here and tell me why he disagrees with some of the numbers that I gave. Well, first of all, do you think that anybody was other than David Luiz was pretty bad today? He wasn't spectacular, and then he damn near gave the ball away twice, like within the span of 5 seconds. But I mean, I don't really think anybody else was that poor.
No, I don't really think anybody was poor per se. I also didn't think everybody was world class either. I think that's the thing. We talk about this all the time. How the fan base is very reactionary, and we win a game, and it's like, oh, we're going to win the league, and if we lose, we're going to get relegated. I thought,
hold on, you mean that's not true?
Yeah, right.
So I thought we played well. Southampton are a solid team, but a team that we should be beating. Even though I don't think we're a good team yet, I don't think we're there quite yet. I think we're building towards that. But we're not there yet. But I still think we should be beating teams like Southampton. I think especially Southampton. I think their defense is very shoddy. I think that they didn't have their 2 fullbacks. Their Polish defender, this Polish center back, I forgot his name, some sort of P.
Bednarik.
He was, or maybe BEP. I don't know. He was all right.
Bednarik
doing well. Jack Stevens was getting very annoyed at Saka just running through him and all over him. But I just I don't think their midfield's all that great. I think Danny Ings is a good player, but you have someone like Theo Walcott in there who we were trying to get rid of for years. And then he goes to Everton. He's not getting well there either. Now he's going to another team on loan. So I just think that it's a team we should be beating, and I think it's a team that I don't think anyone put 10. To me, I think bar Saka, I think no one was better than an 8. I think Saka was man of the match. I know people in the chat, I know, are saying Cedric. I thought it was easy. I thought Saka was easily man of the match. I thought Cedric was good. I mean, I don't know. I try. Yeah, I try. I'm gonna preface by saying I try. I try to be as subjective as possible. And just because Cedric is playing a lot better, and he's like playing better than what we, I guess, as fans thought he was going to be when he came into the squad, doesn't mean he was man of the match. I think he was a good player. I think he was solid. He had a lot of nice passes. I think he was solid defensively, but I don't understand how he's man of the match. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you think he was a bad signing and you don't really understand why he gets into the team, which is kind of where I was for a little bit, then yeah, sure, then maybe he is man of the match because of the, I guess, unexpected performance, but he's been playing well. So, but the real bone I have to pick with everybody really, because everyone is talking about it on Twitter, and I'm sure I'll have all 3 of you guys disagree with me. Maybe in the chat will be coming from my head. Is Pepe? I thought Pepe was pretty awful. Besides his goal, I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was switched off. He was the reason they scored their 1 goal. He won the most duels in the game, but he also lost possession the most in the game. So you could see, I mean, I could see he was trying. I could see he was putting things together or trying, but he just looks like he's not there. He looks like he's.
Didn't he get an assist as well though today?
I don't think so. I know he had a goal. He had a decent goal. But I just, besides the goal, to be, and
let me ask you a question though, right? Would you not be happy with, because I know it's going to happen in the next game, right? He's not going to be in the side. He's not. No matter that you scored a goal today. But would you not rather have someone like Pepe? He scored a goal today, right? I know you're saying that he don't do much, but would you rather have someone that's going to be in the team, consistently and be that bit of a maverick where he might be anonymous for 60 minutes, and on the 75th minute he'll pop up and put a goal in and maybe get an assist or do something. Because I think that he is that kind of a player, but I know what's going to happen. Scoring that goal today is not getting him a starting place, because when we go to the next game and that, it's going to be Saka on the right. Obviously, if Aubameyang's back, he'll be on the left. He'll be on the bench at best, right? I just feel that it's happened a few times with Pepe. I'm not convinced about him, but he does kind of. There's been so many times where he's had a better game, shall I say, and then he's been dropped again for a few games. And you're like, I think he just needs some rhythm. I'd like to see him, get some rhythm, so I can definitively put a tick next to him or a big X and say no. I
agree, and that's the thing, right? So we have him and Willian competing for a spot, and I'm picking Pepe all day, and I do like how he's a Maverick, and I do like he's playing well. And yes, Ray, I'm nitpicking because everyone's saying how he was brilliant and he had a man of the match performance. Had Leno not made some of the saves he made, we might have been 2-1 down. We might have been 3-1 down.
Hold on a minute, right? Those two that you've named, right? Willian on what 220 bags a week. He got Pepe 72 million we've invested, and they're both now playing second fiddle to Saka, who came up through the academy. He's the right wing now, isn't he? So they're kind of like who it's basically when he isn't playing on that side, who's getting his place. So where did that leave someone like Nicola Pepe?
I mean,
long term.
I don't think Arteta really cares. I think Arteta doesn't think he's.
As soon as Aubameyang comes back from his personal whatever, problems and stuff, he's back in the team, probably on the left. Saka's on the right. Pepe.
I think Arteta's just like picking what poison do you want? You want to play Willian? You want to play Pepe? And I think to me, I'm picking Pepe all day. I know he makes mistakes, but and to me, you got to nitpick because I want to be good. I want to be a really good team. I want to get in the Champions League. I want to be top 4, and you need to kind of have those conversations, and you can't be like, oh well, he shut off for that goal they scored. Leno made a couple really good saves after that. What if Leno messed up and they scored? It's a completely different game. And I thought Leno made some very good world class saves. I think like maybe 2 or 3 during the game. So
that Ward, everybody bigged him up for that Ward-Prowse free kick save that he made. He saw that I could have made that save. He saw that thing.
You're gonna get me angry. No. I thought Leno played out of his. I actually gave him plus 2.
Whoa. Two things can be true.
I don't think that was an easy save.
He did. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying it was easy.
Well, if you're saying you could save it, then you're saying it's easy. No offense. You're
fair. Not fair. It wasn't easy. He saw the thing. He saw the thing the whole way, and he was cheating to that post. So, but he had a good game. I'm not going to say that. Rowan, you wanted to say something. Go ahead and jump in here.
So on Pepe, I've seen him be anonymous for many games. Yesterday, the point was that he wasn't anonymous. He was trying. I don't know why he tries to. There are no points for nutmegging people, right? There's no points for showboating, which is what he tries to do. He gets crowded out and he thinks that he's going to wiggle out of it, but that just doesn't work. So, he should just try and concentrate on the game. But there were a couple of times where he got the ball, he pulled it forward, and he could have got in a one-on-one position. The touch was a bit too heavy, so he couldn't. But he was trying. I have seen Nicolas Pepe hide in games, and yesterday he wasn't hiding. He's not the man of the match. I agree with Ryan, because the man of the match is Saka for me. So Pepe is not the man of the match, but this was one of his better games, I would think.
Oh no, okay. I guess I gotta speak to people, not to you guys, but just I guess in general I have to explain myself, because again, this fan base is so is very reactionary. I thought he played well in spurts. He was brilliant at times, but you could see just the. How do I explain? He just turns off, and he tripped over his own boots more than once. He was trying to dribble and he tripped over himself a couple times. So when when people talk about how
I agree.
Exactly. He needs consistency. And I do think this was one of his better games since probably the Europa League group stages. But like I want to be a top 4 club. I want to be in Champions League week in, week out. I want to challenge for the title. Pepe, the way he's playing, even in this game, is not going to get us there. He played well, but again, I don't want to. Jess and Tanner do their ratings. They gave him a 9. I don't get it. Because the ball could have bounced the other way, right? It was
Who got a 9? Who got a 9?
Pepe.
I didn't give him a.
Or 8. It was 8 or 9. I still think even 8. I think it's still too high.
That's generous. Fuck, isn't it? That is generous.
Had the ball bounced the wrong way, we would have been 2-1 down and hit. And
if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. Like,
but
I don't get that. It's like, well, if we didn't win, we would have lost. Yeah. No fucking shit. It didn't happen.
But everyone. My point is everyone's like, oh well, he didn't fuck up, he didn't do anything bad, so therefore he was amazing and he did a good job. It's the same thing with people that do with Granit Xhaka. If Granit Xhaka doesn't get sent off or concede a penalty, oh man, he was brilliant today. I don't think Xhaka was bad today.
That's actually a really good point because we do see a lot of that.
And I'm someone who I can't stand Xhaka. I don't know how he gets into our lineup, but I don't think he played bad, but yet do I think he played well? He was solid. I think Partey made him look a lot better than.
But that's well. And you saying that Thomas Partey. He has to go. He has to play. Yes, Thomas Partey is doing a job in making these guys play better. He's not making them look better. They're playing better with him in the lineup, with him as a partner.
I think he's making them look better. I don't think he's making them. I don't think Xhaka was. I don't think Xhaka was bad. I just don't think I think Partey made him look better than how he actually performed.
They're not going to have 8 players who are going to get 9 out of 10 performances. If we do, we're going to win 5-0, right? 6-0, something like that. That's not happened, right?
Exactly.
But what we did do was we showed impetus after going down. This is a Southampton team that everybody was bigging up, right? Yeah. Everybody's bigging up the Southampton team. Everybody is like, they just beat us, 3 days ago.
Did anyone, right, when we went down 1-0, especially when we had that chance to go 1-0 up, it's before that, and it didn't happen, and then they come back. It was like 3 minutes, wasn't it, on the clock? And they scored.
This was me.
Exactly. Was anyone else not sat there at home thinking, "Oh, fuck, it's it now"? Fuck.
I wasn't because I saw.
So when we equalised, I was like, "Okay, we've equalised." And then I'm thinking, like, can we get that second one? That's where I am with this team at the moment. I'm still a bit tentative.
Yeah, we've been saying, you have been saying this, and I think the 3 of us have been agreeing with you all year. It's we have one good game. Maybe we back that up with a second, but you're still, like you just said, you're still unsure. When is that other shoe going to drop?
Yeah.
And I'm with you, man. I'm 110. Even now, I'm still wondering, when is that other shoe going to drop? I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah. I mean, we won. I'm excited, but I don't understand why I can't be critical. I think, again, I get what you're saying, Tanner. Like, the whole, if we lost, blah blah blah, it would have been Pepe. But you got to be critical because there will be times going forward where Pepe will switch off and it'll hurt us, and it has hurt us in the past.
Here's the thing that I would rather, because I've always felt, I'm not saying that I believe that Nicolas Pepe is worth the money. I still think, and I know that this is going to make Glenn from New York in the chat box giggle because I had this conversation with him last year, man. I still think we had our pants pulled down on that one, but I still think that he's not sometimes been given the chance. Like what I used to say about, why do we keep shuffling players off out on loan? I want to see him for myself and make the decision. We can't keep hiding them and pretending, well, when they'll come back, they'll be better. No, let's just find out. And I'm a little bit like that with Pepe. I see him have a game where, I'm not saying that he's like a 9 out of 10, but I see something and I think, okay, he made a contribution today, and then the next game he's dropped. And I think to myself, if I was him, I'd be getting pissed off now. Play him in the next game. And if he's shit in the next game, say, okay, well, I play. Do you know, again, give him some games. Give him 3 games, 4 games, and let's find out. Let us see with our own eyes. And if he is shit, if I was Mikel Arteta, in my next press conference, when I'm asked about Nicola Pepe, I would just turn to the camera and just go, "You've seen it. You've all seen it now. He's had a run of games and he's not up to scratch. Maybe he'll get a run of games and he'll get a rhythm. And I'm really hoping that that's the key with Nicola Pepe. I'm hoping that there's rhythm. Do you know what I mean? He's not had an opportunity to get rhythm because he's had such a stop-start. And you've got to remember as well, we paid 72 million for him, but before we went in and bought him, Arsenal actually had him valued at between 40 to 50 million. Someone else added that extra, whatever it is, right? 22 million on there.
22 million, yeah.
Someone else has added that on there. And so that someone else probably isn't no longer at the club anymore. Do you know what I mean? And he ain't being called a Don. Do you know what I mean? So you have to look at it like that. I'd rather find out with my own eyes. And if he ain't up to scratch, then just move him on.
And you've got to remember with Pepe, you're going to have these moments where he's going to give the ball away, where he's going to try to be flashy, and he's going to, just make a fool out of himself. Everybody knows what he's going to do, and he's going to, just fall into the trap. But
Cristiano Ronaldo was exactly the same when he first got started to get games at United. He was always doing the step overs and blah, blah, blah. But then after a while, with consistency and a lot of game time, and obviously teammates talking to him, he began to understand the league a little bit better. And began to understand the weaknesses, the strengths, how he should play, and adapted his game. And I honestly don't think that Nicola Pepe's had that opportunity yet. Don't get me wrong, as I said, I'm not saying he's a second coming. But I don't think that he's been given a run of games for us to find out. Because he's been with us for just over a year now, but in a year he's never seemed to have a run of games for me.
But that's the case. That's the thing, though. I don't think he's going to. He's on Arteta's plans. I think the only reason why he is playing is because of just rotation, necessity. Yeah, and. I guess I'm being, I talk a lot of crap about entitled fans. Maybe this is me being entitled. I want us to be in the top 4 conversation every season. I want us to do Champions League every year. And I guess I don't see, I like the type of player Pepe is. I just think he tries to do too much on the field and ends up, he trips over his boots and he falls. So it's just interesting how the fan, everyone's, thinks differently, but he had flashes of brilliance. I'm not saying he didn't, and I'm not saying he played horribly, but he turned off a few times. We saw that he was the reason they scored the goal. That's a fact. He tripped over his boots, I think twice, maybe 3. I think like at least twice. That happened. It's a fact. You guys can watch the game. So I think. Maybe there's, maybe I am being a little too harsh, but these things did happen in the game, though. I'm not making this up, So, in wanting my team to be top 4 and being in Champions League and being that top club, the way Pepe played today, not going to get us there. It's not good enough. It's good, great. We beat Southampton 3-1. We did a good job. I think there was a lot more pieces around him that were firing, like Cedric, like Saka. And yes, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but he did a few brilliant things here and there. But doing a few brilliant things here and there, you're not going to be at the top of the hill. You're not going to be at the top of the hill for very long. Someone's going to take a shot at you, and you're going to get knocked down. And yeah, I understand we're not there. We're an 8th place team, as Ray said, and we are actually in the standings 8th place. And I think maybe we're on paper like a 6th or 7th place team, kind of like where we are right now. But what's the point? You want to be the best, right? So we need our players turned on 90 minutes. Simple as that. Or 94 minutes. I don't know. Make it in minutes here. But yeah. And that's the thing. He's not going to be in the line. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're fine.
Martinelli and Saka are the future of this team. So I just want to see more of them, I guess.
So I just want to answer a quick question, right? Because it was a while back, and Anib Ahmed and put it in the box. And what I've been saying about Willian about earning 220 grand a week, and he's like, "What? You've been reading the Sun?" I just want to break it down for you, Anib. Right? Arsenal lied to us, right? They gave Willian a 3-year contract, and then they tried to flower it by saying he's getting paid less than he's getting paid at Chelsea. But what they failed to mention is that he got a £10 million signing on fee. So if you spread that out over the period of his employment, he's on around about £220,000 a week for Arsenal. That's a fact. That's what's going on there, right? They tried to hide it. They tried to hide it by saying his weekly salary is X, but he got a £10 million signing on fee. And that's that's a high signing on fee for someone, you know, of his age. And that kind of thing. So I just wanted to put that out there for you.
So the Pepe thing, Lone Star Londoner made a good point. You have to earn a run of games. And the thing, it's kind of funny because in my opinion, Stan, Pepe is Arsenal. Nicolas Pepe he gives you one good game. Maybe he gives you 2 good games, but you're waiting for that other shoe with him to drop. You know what I mean? But with him, the shoe drops. That shoe drops pretty quickly. Where he, like Ryan said, he does have a tendency to shut off. I don't think he shut off today. I think with Nicolas Pepe, I think he.
You don't think he shut off the first goal? You don't think he shut off?
I have to go back and watch.
It was a corner kick to outside the box. Are you saying that he should have marked Armstrong better or something? I just thought that it was a training ground exercise that they'd executed perfectly. The shot was great.
He got caught ball watching. The guy ran right around him, and he was wide open right next to Pepe.
So we're at a point where whenever Arsenal score, it's the greatest thing in the world. They're the greatest players in the world. But when the other team scores, we're shit.
I didn't say we're shit, but you got to be critical of how the goal happened.
Or is it possible that it was a good play from Southampton? Is that not?
I think it was both. I think Pepe was turned off, but I agree with what Rohan said. I think it was something that they practiced in training and they performed it really well. But if Pepe was marking, but if Pepe was marking his guy, that would never that would have never happened. So I blame Pepe.
That goal that they scored today was definitely something off of the training ground, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was like very well worked. But what I take away from this was not only did we go 1-0 down, especially after the way that Lacazette fluffed one. I won't say
early after that and early on too.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he fluffed it, but you know he went to go for the keeper's legs and it just caught him. Unlucky. I know Rohan's reckons that he should have gone around him and that, but in a confidence thing, that happens, and then you go 1-0 down. I was really pleased that we were able to come back and score 3 goals.
That is out of everything that you could take away from this game. That what you just said. That's if I'm Arteta and I go into the dressing room after the game, that's what I'm telling them. Even at halftime, that's what I'm telling them. You went down 1-0 to a team you just lost to on Saturday, after we had a glorious chance to open the scoring ourselves.
Yeah.
And you came, not only did you come back and level in pretty quick fashion, because it was about 5 minutes after they scored, Pepe scored.
Yeah.
Give or take 5 minutes.
Not that long.
And then we go on and we get the Bukayo Saka goal.
Yeah.
You know, and we take the 2-1 lead into halftime, and that's one of those things that you go and you say, see, it can be done. We can go down, we can concede, and we can come back, and that's up here.
Yeah,
that's up here. So the Lacazette goal, just real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. You guys can have your say after. I'm gonna. It's like it's 50-50 for me on that, because I think McCarthy did exactly what he should have done there in taking away the angle for Lacazette. I'm not sure Lacazette had enough room to get around McCarthy. I think McCarthy's going to get that ball one way or the other. I think he just cut down the angle on Lacazette so well. He gave Lacazette no room. And Lacazette pretty much, in my opinion, if he's going to go around McCarthy, he had to pull the trigger on that move a step or two before
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because by the time when he shot, that's all he could do. McCarthy was too close to him at that point. So if he tries to go around him with another touch, he's just smothering that ball. So
he could have tried to kick him. You know, he could have tried to kick him as well. I'm looking at it slowed down, but in the moment, I see what he did. He was going to slot that between his legs.
I know exactly.
And it was happening. It just caught the underside of his thigh, right? Yeah. Just caught the underside of his thigh. And because of that, and what I did like was that not only would it hit the underside of his thigh, Lacazette didn't give up the chase. He still, you know, he's not the fastest of guys, but he still tried to make up the extra ground to try and put it right. He was unsuccessful, but I appreciated the effort. That he didn't just try to slot it between his legs, and when it didn't go, he just kind of slowed down and thought, well,
follow your shot.
Yeah.
Follow your shot. Anybody?
I like that.
Any basket?
I think when I saw it first, it was such a glorious chance. He got one-on-one. And I felt like he could have done better. I love a goal that's, you know, where you round the keeper. So, you know, I thought that he could have done it. He had enough time and space to make up his mind before that. But when I looked at the replays, I felt he was unlucky because he almost got it through his legs. Because he was he jumped on the other side, so it's not like he understood where he was shooting. He got that right. He just caught his foot, and that's a great point by Stan. Like, he tried to follow it up, he just couldn't convert it. So that was that. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it's okay. You know, these things happen as long as the team energy. You know, this would have been a problem, say, about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. You know, in the middle of December, maybe, when we were lacking confidence, we were making that one chance, and if you fluff your lines, then you're gone, and then you concede, then it's miserable for you. But that didn't happen. You know, he was trying, and then he got one-on-one again, where he turned the defender, and then for some reason he just threw himself on the ground. I don't know why he did that. You know, because it wasn't a penalty. I don't think even he was appealing, and he should have just taken the shot. It's
not that penalty, but I always do.
Yeah, that was weird. I think he felt because there was contact, but he was. But I don't.
I mean, he's playing football, so there's going to be some contact.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it was a penalty at all. I think he felt the contact, and he's like, I don't want to miss a second chance, so let me fall. I hope I get a penalty. Kind of where I was thinking his head was at, but I think he had a really good chance. I think, he got contact, but I think he could have stayed up, and I think he could have had a real chance.
Yeah, exactly, because he got on the wrong side. Now he just had to, slash at the ball, but he didn't do that. But that being said, he was trying. You know, he played a good ball in for Saka's goal. And Saka showed what you're supposed to do. You know, keep a calm head. You take it around the keeper.
That's a little. The goalie was in no. The goalie. That's a completely different situation. The goalie was in no.
Of course it is. Of course it is, because it wasn't in the box. But Saka's not a striker.
That goalie. The McCarthy really screwed up the Saka goal. That was 100%.
Take it around and then to slot it in, but with that sort of pace that it doesn't get cut off. You know, Saka's bang in form right now.
Yeah.
And Lacazette tried. I mean, I'm not going to fault him. It was a good game. Yeah, I honestly expected a closer game than that. We played really well. We won. I'm happy. Not everybody's going to get a 9 on 10. With Pepe, I'm happy that he didn't try to hide. He's going to make mistakes. He's not going to be Saka, who's going to be brilliant for long periods of the game. He's going to be really good in short bursts, and he's going to be frustrating for long periods of the game. But that's the deal that we've signed, right? So he is, Pepe is our maverick. You know, Saka, ESR, Martinelli, those are the consistent guys that we can bank on. Pepe is the 8.
Pepe is trying to play a pickup game against people that he thinks he's better than. And he's basically trying to embarrass people. That's what he's doing. Instead of just...
He thinks he's Neymar.
Yeah. Put your head down and go play. Just put your head down and go play.
And that's what I said about Ronaldo. He used to do that at United when he first came there. But he with a run of games, he settled. You know what I mean? He started to realise that it's not just about trying to showboat, to be the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, he just, but unfortunately, there's nobody in this team like we're in those Man United sides to go up to him, to go up to Pepe, put their arm around him, and say, "Okay, listen, son, settle down. Just go play football. Stop trying to make everything and stop trying to turn everything into a highlight reel. You know, you don't need to see your face on the 6 o'clock Sports Center every night. Okay, so for those in America, you'll understand that, but." That I think is one of his biggest things. He's trying almost too hard at times. And like Ryan said, he trips over his feet. His body gets moving faster than his brain does. You know what I mean? Like his feet are way up here, but his brain's way back there, and everything's trying to get caught up. And then all of a sudden he trips, falls over. Because he does that. He easily trips over his own feet multiple times a game when he plays. I see it happen all the time. He dribbles himself into pressure. He doesn't release the ball soon enough. Gee, who does he sound like? Sounds like Matteo Guendouzi to me. Dribbles into pressure and doesn't release the ball on time. Matteo Guendouzi did that all the time under Unai Emery. Don't you dare tell me he didn't. That was his.
No, I agree with you.
I'm looking at Ryan because Ryan's looking at me like
you compared Pepe to
Matteo Guendouzi with those flowing locks. How dare you?
No,
how dare you, sir?
You compared him to Pepe, and I think they're two completely different players. That's why
they are two completely different players.
But what you said about not releasing the ball, yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But look, just switching gears, right? And you touched on it right there. I've been reading. There's something in the wind now about Guendouzi going to Paris Saint-Germain and us getting Julian. Yet again, the name Julian Draxler is twinned, with Arsenal. What do you reckon?
Nah. I'd rather have Guendouzi back, and then
yeah.
Well, you don't think there's anyone out there in the chat box or here? You don't think that we could? And I'm asking. I'm not saying that I think so, but do you not think that we could maybe use a Julian Draxler somewhere right now? Anyone?
No.
Dave's like that in the chat. He's washed. I was thinking kind of the same, but I mean, to me, it feels like that Draxler boat has sailed, isn't it?
Yeah,
like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that.
Yep. Shout out to Thomas Morgan. Guendouzi party. Woo! Yeah. That gets me excited. That's something we really haven't talked about. I thought, and I know Tanner didn't think he played. I guess I thought he played better than Tanner, but Thomas Partey, I thought played really well. I think when we talk about how we went 1-0 down, I know you're going to say Tanner. I know it's okay. I know it's okay. Calm down. I'm going to stroke your back. Okay. But so when we went 1-0 down,
wait. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep scratching my back.
Oh my God. So when we went 1 down, everyone was like, "Oh, like everyone thought we were out of it." I was like, "Yeah, I was upset." But once I saw Partey, taking the ball, breaking the lines, dribbling past a couple players, then releasing the ball, I was like, no, we're still in this game. But to me, Partey gave me anyway the confidence that we were going to get back in this game, and I thought he played tremendous today. I thought he was really good. He had a lot of good interceptions, a lot of good breakup passes inside of our 18, and he does something that no other player can do for us. Well, I guess Pepe did it once or twice, but he also tripped over his own feet a few other times. But Partey got the ball in our final third. He would dribble out of pressure. He would dribble past 2 or 3 players on Southampton, and he would pass it forward. We don't have that. It's very hard to do. We don't have anyone that does that in this team, and it's something that we've been lacking, and we've needed for quite some time. And I thought when I watch him with the ball, the whole entire first half, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna win this game." Yeah, Partey is gonna drive us forward. So I thought he played really well, defensively, and just the space. I thought he also gave a lot of space to ESR. I thought ESR, he always does this. He's really good at exploiting holes and exploiting space that the other team gives up, and when they pressure us. And Partey was coming at them, and they had to pressure Partey. So and therefore, ESR would just fade into space, and he had a few good one-touch passes. Lacazette faded into the space, and he made a lot of things happen. And I'm surprised he didn't get a lot of credit on Twitter and even some of the Arse Bros didn't really give him too much credit either. I thought he played really well, and when he gets the ball, I'm like, okay, I'm more confident in us coming back, Patrick Vieira. And you know what I say to you, Jess? Yes, Guendouzi. Yes.
Rowan, go ahead. Jump in on Guendouzi, Draxler.
Yes.
Or segue us into Odegaard.
Well, just saying, like, with the Draxler, I just brought his stats up. If anyone's interested, I was just looking at his stats. I thought I never really seen it, right? So I'm just looking at his PSG stats, right? So 2016 to 2017, 17 appearances. This is the league, right? 4 goals, 1 assist. The next year, 2017 to 2018, 30 appearances, 4 goals, 5 assists. 2018 to 2019, 31 appearances, 3 goals, 7 assists. 2019 to 2020, 11 appearances, 4 assists. I didn't miss out the goals. It was just 4 assists. 2020 to 2021, 11 appearances. He improved, 2 goals, but 1 assist. So, I mean, are these the kind of numbers, I mean, that inspire you? Is he a pre-assist guy? Is it because that's what he does? He's a pre-assist guy. He's the second ball guy. Is this the guy that we want? Do we need?
That's Cedric. Cedric is our pre-assist guy.
And you're missing a very important thing that you did not mention, and Lawrence London he probably already knows what I'm going to say before I say it, but he didn't mention that he was German. He's German.
Yep, he is German.
So, just some food for thought. That's all.
I mean, is this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've been linked with us for so long, and looking back at the stats, I'm like, well, obviously, it must be going back before 2016, 2017. Because, I mean, is this the guy? To me, I don't know. To me, it just feels like another Isco kind of a thing, right? I think I'd rather have Draxler than Isco, to be fair, but I don't know. I mean,
Draxler, if he really comes in, like, it's going to break the
27 years old. He's 27.
Right? Like, it's one story that's like that is not supposed to happen. It's just a story that's supposed to be a rumor for the rest of our lives, and we have just
like William Carvalho.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that, because if Draxler puts pen to paper at Arsenal, it's just gonna like break all concepts of space, and we're gonna like enter into a parallel. Really, I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, that just cannot happen. I was every year. I don't know. It feels like since I was a child, I've been listening. Draxler to Arsenal, right? Like since
you're hearing it in your
granddaddy would beat you on his knee and say, Julian Draxler is going to come to Arsenal.
Yeah. Or is Julian Draxler is going to sign for Arsenal? Okay, yeah. Like and then like he was one of the guys like Mario Götze, who was exciting prospect, right? Who was an exciting prospect, and you really thought that under Arsene Wenger he could really do well. But like you said, that ship has sailed. We should not be looking at that. And those creative areas, we should be looking at people more dynamic, people who are more motivated, people who aren't washed up and have spent their who spent their best years and have gone to PSG and now going to come here to just like earn high wages and not going to turn up. We need some more drive. And with Guendouzi, I haven't been a big fan of Guendouzi, of his play really, but what I do know that he's got drive. And right now our midfield has been dire. In the past month or so, we've been better and especially since Partey has come in. And Xhaka has been playing well. He's played well every single game since he's come back into the team after that red card. But I don't expect it to continue. And I think Guendouzi, with the right mentorship, could be that person in that pivot with Partey. But who knows? So I am more interested in seeing what maybe Guendouzi can do in that midfield rather than break this equilibrium that we have and enter into a absolute paradox universe by signing Draxler. So let's just not do that.
Yeah, let's move on to a player that I think we are going to get and should be announcing imminently is Martin Odegaard, or Erdegaard, I think is how you pronounce that O. It's
it's a O, like Odegaard. Or Odegaard.
It is O. It is Odegaard. I heard it was Erdegaard.
Like you say, like you're saying like UH, like Odegaard, yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Let's Real Madrid, 24 years old. He's the right profile. Been out on loan at Sociedad for, I think he's been on loan there the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what his stats are. The kid's pretty highly rated, but it's Real Madrid. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know a whole lot of who's playing for them outside of Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane. And I think that's probably all I could name right now that's playing for Madrid. But the kid's good, flat out. The kid's got talent. So, Arteta wants him. It seems like, from what I've seen, a lot of people seem to think this is going to be a very, very good deal for Arsenal. So, Ryan, I'm going to come to you last on this because you weren't real keen on him. So I'm going to come to you last on this. But Stan, Martin Odegaard, what do you think?
Well, I'm a little bit like you, Turner. It's not someone I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, fuck me, yeah, Odegaard. Oh, I didn't really know that much about him. Sure, I've heard the name mentioned about, but I didn't even know what fucking position he played in. So what did I do? It's the weird thing, though. Do you remember when I sent you those videos in our private thing? Just before all of it was coming up, Arsenal's interested in Odegaard. I went onto my YouTube to just watch something, and there was like this documentary about Martin Odegaard, and I'm like, I'm sure this is like Arsenal. It was when it just first was sort of mentioned. It just popped up on my timeline, so I watched this little documentary about him, and I ended up probably watching maybe 3 documentaries about Martin Odegaard. And then obviously I watched some compilations as well of him playing. And there was obviously compilations in the documentaries. I've never watched him play 90 minutes. But from what I can see, and especially where one of the documentaries that I was watching, it was like they were showing footage of him as a fucking kid. So they were obviously watching this guy from a very, very young age and were spending time filming him. Do you know what I'm getting at? They thought, this kid's got something. Let's start filming in case it happens, right? And what I really took away from it was the way that the people that have worked with him, various coaches and managers, the way that they speak about him, they speak about not only his talent, but his maturity and the way that he conducts himself. And I also got a lot of that from, in these documentaries, he was, talking quite a lot. He does seem a lot older than his years. And for me, this is the kind of line that I can get behind. This, for me, is totally the opposite to, say, a Christian Eriksen or an Isco. To me, they're kind of like what I would call washed-up loan deals. Whereas this is a different situation. This isn't like someone who probably won't make it at Real Madrid. This is someone that has gone to Zinedine Zidane and said, look, I'm not getting the minutes here. And this is going to affect my career where it is at the moment. And where I am now is I need minutes. So that if you're not going to use me, then you need to send me somewhere. And I like that. I really like that. And from what I've seen in the actual footage of him playing, everybody knows how hot I was on Donny van der Beek and how, when we were looking at a creative midfielder, he was like my pick. I'm kind of almost like Donny who? Donny Osmond, who are you talking about? I really like what I've seen from Martin Odegaard. It's only going to be like a 6-month deal. There is no option to buy. But that doesn't mean that if he enjoys his time at Arsenal, that something can't change. And Danis Ceballos has been with us in 2 loan deals now. And I think, obviously, with what's happening in the world with COVID and shit like that, the loan deals are going to probably be, you're going to see a lot more of them. And from what I understand, we're paying his wages, which is 38,000 a week. Just put that into context. my missus was like, I'm not going to mention the number 10 that we left, but she was sat next to me when I was watching all this stuff about him, and she was looking and she was going, he looks good. I like to look at this kid. I said, Jerry, so she goes, what's the deal? I said, well, it's going to be like a loan deal, and we're going to pay $2 million to Real Madrid for the privilege, and to be paying his wages. She went, oh, how much does he earn? I went, 38 grand a week. She was like, that's chicken feed for footballers and all that, you know. So I'm behind it. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get to his match fitness. So you're probably going to see him coming on in cameos at first, coming on and subbing. But I think it's a really good player. So am I fucking keeping you up, Ryan, or what?
Little bit.
Oh, everyone's yawning. Everyone's chatting here tonight. What the fuck? First Tanner, fucking Rohan left the fucking building. I thought I was on a roll. Anyway, I'm gonna.
you were.
I heard documentary. My eyes just got really heavy. I don't do well with documentaries.
I'm finishing this shit, right? So I can't remember what I was going to say now. So you fucking talk. I can't remember. I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
I'm really glad that we're going to have this for 6 months, and I'm really glad that he's going to be rotating with ESR, because I think that from what I've seen of Odegaard, maybe ESR could maybe pick up some good stuff from him as well. Not just on the football pitch, but as a personality as well. So I'm all for it. And I'll shut up now. So before everyone fucking falls asleep.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Stan, shut up. I'll come back.
So let me go to Rohan on Martin Odegaard here. What do you know, or what do you think you know about him? How do you feel about it? All things considered, £2 million loan fee, paying his full wages, no obligation to buy. Yeah, you know the drill.
I remember him signing for Real Madrid, and like I really thought that they've actually got a serious player on their hands, because he was super young at that point when he signed. In fact, I think he's the youngest Champions League appearance maker, and one of the youngest guys to play for them. Period. I don't know if he's one of the youngest scorers or not. I'm not really sure, but he's been in and around the team for a while now. He's 24, you said, right? Like, so he's not particularly young. He's 22. Yeah. Okay. So he's 22. He's young. He's not super young, but considering that he's been talked about and he's been in the scene for a while. But like you said, this is a loan deal that can get us excited, because he's not a player that we know a lot about. So he could be really good. But the funny thing is that, Stan, you said some time back that Pepe's just been here for a year and a bit. Well, I mean, he's been here for over a year and a half now, and he needs to get settled in and he needs to find his form. But with a loan deal, we expect somebody to come in who's got maybe 4 months to play, and we expect them to play right away. So I'm not really sure what to expect, because he's not played in England before. He's not played the Premier League style, which is much different to La Liga. So I don't really know what to expect. I expect good things. Any person who signs for Arsenal, I expect them to do really well. But in all honesty, I would not place like super high hopes on him, just because of the fact that he wouldn't have enough time to bed in. But that doesn't mean that he could not do really well. So which is the part that gets you excited, right? He's not a washed up player, like you said. That's just my view of it. If it's happening, I like the profile of the player. I like, where it's going and how we're conducting it, and all of the three things around it. But I don't know what output we're going to get, really.
Can I answer that point? You made some good points there. What I'd say is something else that I picked on is that after leaving Norway, and he's been on loan in the Netherlands twice. He's been on loan at Heerenveen. He's also been on loan at Vitesse Arnhem. He's been at 15 years of age at Vitesse Arnhem, was one of the best players in the team, playing with like big hairy ass geezers. he was controlling things at that age. After signing for Real Madrid, he's been on loan at Real Sociedad for 2 seasons and became one of their most influential players, winning accolades like Assist of the Month, Player of the Month, you know, Goal of this, blah blah blah. And again, I'm not saying that I've been following this kid, but I've done a lot of since he popped up on my timeline and I had some time on my hands. I had a good look at him, and from everything that I'm seeing, this guy looks the business. And for such a young age, coming from Norway, having 2 stints at different clubs in the Netherlands, again a different language as well, totally different language. 2 stints out in Spain. Now he's going to come to England. I've got a feeling he might be able to handle it.
Ryan, before I come, go ahead, Rohan. You're muted, by the way.
So here's an idea, right? Like we always, whenever any club gets linked to a player, you have this welcome to Arsenal or welcome to whatever ex-club videos and compilations and etc. that get you excited, right? How's about this idea of somebody making not welcome to Arsenal and then all the bloopers that this person has done, so that you have an objective comparison of maybe this person is not as good. You know, these are all the bloopers that this, because it's easy to make a highlight reel, right? Like I'm not talking about Odegaard specifically, like, but in general, just to give perspective, you know, a documentary about Odegaard is going to favor him because that's a documentary about him. Right?
Right. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, right, on this one. Let's have a little bet. Let's put $10 on it, right? $10 Canadian, by the way, but $10 nevertheless, right? I've got a feeling at the end of this 6-month loan that we would want to probably keep Odegaard on loan longer or try to make it permanent. I've got a good feeling about this kid. I don't know why. I really don't know why, Rohan. I have a feeling about this guy. I really do. So much in the way that I'm thinking to myself, wow, if I had the chance between him and Donny, and you all know how I used to get moist just even at the mention of Donny's name, right? I've got a feeling about this guy. Tony Turner says, I'm all in. Maybe at the end of it, I'll be eating my hat and it might end up like Dennis Suarez. But I've just got a feeling that this guy's got a little bit more about himself, that he's on a trajectory as a career and he's using every minute of his time to improve himself.
Stan, this is what we live for as football fans, right? To get excited, to see what this person can do. The next person is going to be our savior and all of that, and which I'm completely in agreement with. So I want him to, any person who signs for Arsenal, I want them to be the best player in the world, and God be that. Maybe want him to stay here, and he want to stay here as well. And build a legacy here for years to come. So, you know, it's the comment wasn't specifically about Odegaard, and you know, hopefully he does well. I just want to level set my expectations, because I think it's unfair to, when any person comes into the Premier League, we say the first 6 months it's bedding in period, and then the second half they start to perform, and then the second season is really when they perform. But it's weird in loan deals that you expect this person to perform like day one, and then if they don't by match week 4, you're like, this person is just not good enough. So level setting for all of us.
Case in point, Kim Kallstrom.
Exactly. So
prediction. I'm going to give you a prediction before I give Ryan the final say here. I think he will start the first game against Benfica. I think that will be Odegaard's first start.
Really?
And this is why. Because of, I think it'll take him some time, as we say, to kind of get going in the system and learn everything and start to feel comfortable. He's got 3 weeks from Thursday. That match is 3 weeks from Thursday. So if all of the rumors that he flew to London Sunday, he was here, yeah, because he's in Pittsburgh. He was in London yesterday getting his physical and all that stuff done. They probably figured out working the announcement video or whatever today. Hopefully they drop that tomorrow. We get the official announcement. I don't give a shit about the announcement video. Just put a statement out and hey, we got him. Okay, good, done. Let's move on. He'll get some game time as a sub. He'll come on as a sub. In a few Premier League matches leading up to that, but I think that first Benfica match, I think he gets his first start.
Do you think there'll be sub appearances before that, though?
Yeah. I think he'll come on as a sub. I think he'll come on as a sub before then. Just to get acclimated and playing on the field with his teammates.
Some of the other loans that we'd get linked with, I'm out there and I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Some of the ones that we get and that, but with this one, I really think that this guy could really make a difference for us. And I think that, I don't know what it is. I just have this feeling. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I just have this weird.
Well, it's
I don't get. I've not had from some of the other ones that we've been linked with. And you know what? You know, I'm not going to be dour about it. You know, I'm going to be positive about it. So I'm going to ride with this feeling. I like that. I like feeling optimistic like this because it's been a while. You know, I look at players like Esquire and I'm like, for fuck's sake, mate, that is just garbage.
Totally wrong profile.
Garbage. Do you know what I mean? We just got rid of Ozil. Why do you want to bring in another one for? You know, the Willian thing. Something else as well. We've been talking about Cedric for some time. You know, the contract. What was the deal here? You know, he's supposed to be able to cover at right back and left back. You know, he's available and he's slotting in Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But he's now been featuring in a few games. You know, we've seen a little bit of him now. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I want to see more. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing with Cedric. He seems to have something about him that could really help us. I don't know what you guys think. And you've got to remember as well, he did score quite a nice one on his debut as well, which kind of gets a little bit forgotten, right? Yeah. So I don't know what you guys are thinking about Cedric, because again, I was critical, and it was only because why are we giving this dude a 4-year contract and not fucking playing him? We'd rather shove a right-footed midfielder into left back when they told us this guy could cover, but now he's beginning to get games. So I just wondered what you guys are thinking about him.
Anybody want to go? Ryan, do you want to get your say in on Odegaard real quick, and then
sorry.
Yeah, go Ryan. Go on Odegaard real quick. And then we'll wrap up with some Cedric talk.
So the only question I have in the chat for Big Steve is I don't know what his age of consent is, but you can put in the chat, you know, because I know he said in the chat he's Odegaard. It's you don't have to find it, Tanner. It's kind of high up, but he made a comment saying that Odegaard is young enough for him to give him a chubby. Hashtag chubby for the kids. So
we're gonna get shut down.
I'm curious
we're gonna get shut down. Like the people that are
whatever. So the Odegaard thing at first, I'll be honest, as these three know, they were the first people I spoke to about it. I didn't like it. We're getting a 6-month loan for a relatively young player who we don't really know much about. Yeah, he was going to Real Sociedad, but he couldn't. Yeah, I think. Yeah, there we go. He got 5 minutes. You shouldn't have put that out because now I'm going to lose my concentration. I think he's played all of 5 minutes this season for Real Madrid. So I wasn't excited about it. At the time, I heard we were paying $5 to $6 million for him, and you know the whole betting thing. He's got to get match fit. He's got to get Premier League ready. And I'm just like, by the time it's gonna be too late. We're not even gonna need him. But after talking to one of my friends the other day, Ross, shout out to Ross. I don't want to say his nickname on the channel because it's not the nicest of names. But if anyone watches Arse Bros, I've called him by this name many times. But he kind of put things in perspective for me, and my whole argument was the person I wanted. If we had bought Odegaard, I'd be excited. But we loaned them, and I wasn't feeling it, and I was kind of conveying how I kind of wanted to get like an older veteran that could kind of show you some of the ropes, that can kind of come in and do the job now. And I was like, yeah, I was saying like, and it's funny because the first person I said is I said the name, and then I immediately was like, I don't really want that person, but I kind of want that profile. And I said Christian Eriksen. Because he's played in the Premier League. He knows what it takes. He's a little bit older, but I think he could help us out now. And then I thought to myself, I was like, not him, though, because I don't think he's all that good. I don't think he could help out, at least in the Premier League. I know he scored a really nice free kick today against AC Milan. Sorry, Mike Hurst. But, I wanted something like that. And then Ross posed a very good question to me. And he goes, well, who is this person that you want? Who is the person that's going to check all of your boxes for this loan deal? And I sat there like an idiot, and I was like, oh, no, I can't really think of anybody. So then me and him kind of talked a little bit further about the whole Odegaard situation. And now, I see we're only really paying $2 million. I don't hate it as much as I did before. I'm kind of slowly coming around to it. I just hope it, and then, too, I also have loan PTSD. I don't really think we've had a good loan in quite some time. So I'm nervous. I'm a little bit apprehensive. But I think it'll just be just to see how hard he wants to work, how hard he really wants to, get minutes and play for us and get match ready, get game ready, get Premier League ready, and hopefully it doesn't take too much time. But I generally am excited because I do think he can be a good player for us. But again, I thought Denis Suarez could be a good player for us. That obviously didn't turn out too well. So I think with this, it's gonna take some time, and like I said, I'm not as bullish on it as I was before, but I'm eager to take a look.
Plus, the other thing is as well, he's got another Real Madrid teammate here who's going through the same motions, right? And Denis Ceballos.
Yeah. So I have, Ray's put a great point out there that he's covered for ESR and so it's a good move. So just want to understand, because I think we've had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and our regular listeners would know what we're talking about. That ESR, he's come to the fore and he's played really well. He's played now 4, 5, 6 matches, and he's played really well in those matches, and he's become quite a mainstay. Now he gets rested for the cups, and he's the main guy for our starting 11 in the Premier League. So there was this conversation that we had in which we said that we need someone who can mentor him. We need someone who should not halter his process. We need cover for him because he has muscle issues and injury issues, etc. So in the context of all of that, in my opinion, this is a good loan move because what we're getting is not a replacement. We're getting a guy who's probably hungry. We're getting a guy who could do really well, and we're getting a guy who we're not locked in with, right? Like this is not a 4-year term. And we see what ESR is also doing, whether he falls off a cliff, whether we need to go for someone more experienced or less experienced, or he actually needs an understudy or he needs a mentor, what sort of a player that we need. And this gives us time. That's my opinion. But what do you guys think about cover for ESR, Odegaard being covered for ESR, and that move by Arsenal?
I think that's the only thing he offers is cover. I don't think he's going to mentor ESR at all. I guess it's where kind of my bias comes in. I think ESR is one of the most, as far as football IQ, I think he probably has it in spades, and I think he's probably one of, if not the smartest football player currently on the Arsenal roster. So that's why I kind of wanted a veteran, because I don't think anyone around his age or near his age has a clue comparatively to his knowledge. I think he'll actually kind of help Odegaard more, and I also, too, I look at it from the other side, and I feel like we're almost doing Real Madrid's dirty work. I feel like we're helping Real Madrid get their player up to snuff, because I do think that. Yeah, well, exactly. That's why I didn't like the loan. I think ESR, again, you don't know. We're not going to know until we put him in, we play him. But right now, I think ESR is a better player. I know, small sample size. I just think ESR is a smarter football player, and I think ESR is going to be doing more of the teaching than Odegaard, but I hope I'm wrong. But like I said, I just want cover for ESR, so I'm not that upset about it in the long run.
He's definitely not the mentor, but like overall package, in terms of, we sometimes thought that we need someone who's going to be backup to him, aka less in potential or less of a player than him. Some of us felt that there should be a player who's like an Awar or someone who's sort of proven and who's done more than ESR. Now we've got someone whose profile is what it is. So what do you guys think about that?
Right,
he's
right in the middle. He's right in the middle. He's exactly the player that you want to bring in this situation. You bring him in on loan. You're not committed to him long term, so you're not blocking ESR's path if he continues to play at the level that he's playing. He's going to push ESR because they're right in the same age range. But he's not a player that comes in on a fee that you're locked into for 4 or 5 years on big money that you bring him in. And much like we say with Pepe, he's here on 72 million pounds and he's going to rot on the bench. Well, at least until before today. But that's what you don't want. You don't want that. You don't want to bring a guy in on a big transfer fee and hand him the starting role over ESR. That's going to if you do that, this was my point to this whole conversation a couple of weeks ago with ESR. You want cover for him because he is injury prone. We need another player in that role that plays that's their role. They grew up playing that role. That's Martin Odegaard. He's exactly the kind of player that checks every box, not just profile for the player and what he does on the pitch, but when you bring Emile Smith-Rowe into the conversation, and what I don't want to see happen with him, that's Martin Odegaard. He's a guy that's going to push ESR, and you ride the hot hand. He doesn't get handed a spot in the starting 11 because of his name, because of his pedigree, because of his transfer fee, because of his wages. No, he's going to come in, and you know what he's going to get? He's going to get an opportunity. That's what he's going to get.
I have to say as well that I have to disagree 100% with Ryan. I think that Martin Odegaard has bags of experience because this is a guy that in
the Premier League I'm talking about. I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking about in the Premier League. I don't care if he's played 10 years in La Liga. I'm just saying that I know Norway pretty well as well. I have a lot of dealings with Norway. I nearly married one, right? And this stuff.
Can I interrupt you 1 minute?
Podcast, right? That is another podcast. But however, this is a young kid that they've seen his potential, and he's been fast tracked. Even for the little town that he started off in Norway, as a kid, he's been playing with adults. He's been playing with big, hairy-assed geezers. Do you know what I mean? And he's had to grow up pretty quick. He's moved away from home at a very young age. He's played for 2 teams in the Netherlands. He's played for a couple of teams in Spain. And he's also on the books at Real Madrid and that. I think that he's got probably a lot more life experience than someone like Emile Smith-Rowe, who's been probably fairly sheltered. Yeah, he's been up to Huddersfield, right? And stuff like that. But I just think that maybe someone like Odegaard, and as I'm saying, what I've been watching of him is also the head that's on the shoulders. He seems like he's got an old head on young shoulders, which could also help someone like Emile Smith-Rowe. And not only that, because of the positions that both of those players play, you may even see games where they're both on this pitch at the same time.
Odegaard can play on the right too.
Yeah, and so can Emile Smith-Rowe. He's not a stranger to playing out on the flank. So you never know. And it's good that he's not. I think this is a good step for ESR. He's now featuring a lot in the first team, and now we're going to see how he's going to perform, where he knows that this guy's brought in, and he may not be the automatic pick, and he's got to maybe step it up a little bit more in training, just do a couple of little bit more bits to make him, be in Arteta's eyes. So I think this is nothing but a good apprenticeship period for ESR, and I'd rather he be doing that here at Arsenal with someone like Odegaard than being shipped off on loan somewhere else to another team, out of sight, out of mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just my feeling.
I completely agree. The only thing I have to say is just I always fall back on this because so many players have proven this right. the Premier League is just a different animal, and players can't handle the speed and the pace and the physicality of it. And I just worry. Anyone coming from different league, I will always worry about it. But like you said, Stan, and like Big Steve said, like I completely agree with what you guys are saying, and I'm excited. I am excited. You know, the more I spoke about it with my friend, I was like, okay, like yeah, like I like it. Again, it's just all about how quick can he adapt to the Premier League, because, like I said, it's a different animal. So let's hope he can adapt. And honestly, I don't even care. I don't care if he blacks out.
He was the best midfielder in the La Liga 19 and the 20 season. He also knocked Real Madrid out, the club he was on loan away from. He knocked them out in Copa del Rey.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, I don't know what it is. I just have this feeling about this guy. I don't know. As I say, I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, I've watched all of his games for fucking Real Sociedad. I watched all his games for Vitesse Arnhem in the Netherlands. But I've crammed in a lot of stuff, and I just have I'm kind of disappointed there's no option to buy in there. I'd love to have an option in there.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about it,
I don't want it to be one of those ones where, you know, when he leaves and goes back to Madrid after 6 months and he's maybe done a lot of bits for us, you know, I can see so many gifs that I'm going to be posting of crying with tears. You know, the Bernard Cribbins one from Doctor Who, who's like, you know, I just got this feeling about this guy. I don't know what it is. Maybe at the end of it, I'll be wrong. Maybe it'd be like, well, that was a waste of time. You know, maybe it was another Kim Kallstrom, or as Ryan says, you know, the Dennis Suarez. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I just have this feeling that he's going to do something.
I want to correct one misperception of Martin Odegaard. Everybody keeps saying he's only played 5 minutes this year. He's only played 5 minutes this year. You're right. He's only played 5 minutes this year since the calendar turned over to 2021. In all competitions in the 2021 season, he has played 367 minutes.
There you go.
In La Liga for Real Madrid, he has played 232 minutes.
There you go.
So is that 3 games? That's not even 3 games.
He's come on as a sub. He's come on as a sub. He's not starting. That's not true.
Still longer than 9 minutes, whatever it was.
It's not really enough for me, but like I still, like, the more I talk to you guys, the more I talk to my friend about it, like I'm excited. I want to get excited, and frankly, if he's really as good as, you know, Stan's bigging him up to be, I don't even mind. I mean, I would mind a little because I do have a soft spot for ESR, but you know what? If he has to block ESR and we buy him, so be it. I want to be better. If we can upgrade.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? As I say, I don't know definites and all that, but
no, I know.
I really feel good about this. I don't know why.
Yeah. So just
feelings. I should see a counselor.
With the option to buy thing. Look, Real Madrid are simply like Ray just said here. They're keeping their options open. Now I understand an option to buy, but if you're Real Madrid, you don't necessarily want to insert that into the loan agreement, because if Real, what we want ideally in this situation is for Real Madrid to find their stride without him, and he find his stride with us.
Yeah.
So that Real Madrid can say, okay, we let him go. He's not here, and we really took off. He's doing well there, so we can sell him for 40. I think transfer market. I know it's transfer market. It sucks. They've got him listed at 36 million pounds is what they have him. That was as of January 5th. So that's what they
signed him for 2 million, right?
Well, no, this is his value. This is what transfer market is saying. His value is 35 million.
They signed him for 2 million. So you got to think of, if you know, a profit. That's a good profit, right? You sign him for 2, you sell him for 48.
I'll be honest with you. I'd probably add 10 million to that number. If it's transfer market, I'd probably add 10 million to that.
So when you do contracts and you do, you know, not obligations to buy, but you know, you could do, what is it? What we just talked about? I'm getting tired. I don't even know an option to buy. They set it to a certain amount of money, so that's why I wanted an option to buy, because if he really is the bee's knees, they're going to be like, oh, he's really good. You know what? 50 million, you can have him. No,
hang on.
I'm not negotiating with Real Madrid, who is already financially, you know, not where they want to be. So maybe they'll give us a deal. But because I think that's how it works in contracts. If it's options to buy, they have the money the amount already in the contract.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. Is Madrid doesn't want to insert the option at 35.
If he's good.
If he's good and his value increases to 50.
That's why I would kind of want it in the contract, but it is.
Well, from our standpoint, you do, but put the shoe on the other foot. If you're Madrid, you don't want to do that, because now all of a sudden you're selling low. Now all of a sudden you just turned into Arsenal. If you're Real Madrid,
yeah, pretty much. I guess
you know what I mean.
And also, real quick to Jorge Ortiz, I love Guendouzi. I don't think he plays another game for Arsenal. I think we're going to sell him. And the player I want is Basuma. Basuma has now taken over my.
Basuma is a deal that I think could get done in the summer.
Honestly, I'd rather have Basuma than Odegaard. I know that's probably a hot take.
Come back to that in 6 months' time.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, all right.
Fuck, why are we keeping fucking Odegaard, the bastard?
Yeah. So Stan, you brought up Cedric, and if I were handing out a 3 stars, it's a hockey thing, but if I were handing out 3 stars for today's game,
3 stars high in hockey, or is that good?
Cedric would have been my 2nd star today.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, Cedric would have been my 2nd star.
It's +2.
For those that watch the Arse Bros, he was my +2. My +3 or my 1st star was Bukayo Saka. But at any rate, Stan, go ahead and repeat what you had said about Cedric. Just what was in 20 minutes ago, because we went back on.
I was one of those that when we originally signed this guy from Southampton, I mean, he was in a team where they were fighting relegation. He couldn't get in the team. He came in injured. A lot of people going, well, yeah, he's free. But, we did pay around about, it actually worked out about 5 million to have him. Didn't really play him. And I was always wondering, well, we're giving this guy a 4-year contract. Right? Give him a 4-year contract. They told us he can play at right and left back, and they're sticking a right midfielder in, a midfielder in a left back position. But I have to say, over the last few games that I've seen, and remember, as I said, he did score a nice one on his debut, I'm quite up for seeing more of Cedric. I'd like to see more of him. He seems to add a little bit more dynamism to the team. And I like it that Hector Bellerin has competition, because I always think that we always get just maybe a few more % out of Hector Bellerin when he knows that he's not the automatic first name on the team sheet, as he was under Arsene Wenger. There were so many years under Arsene Wenger where he didn't really have any competition. So you got a player that would maybe have a shit game, and then you think to yourself, halfway through that game, you're already thinking to yourself, I'm not having a good one today. I'll make up for it next week. I promise you, I will. And then next week comes and you have another stinker, but then you're like, listen, I owe you 2 now. I owe you 2 good ones. Don't, and there's always like a little bit of never. And then you get the good one. And he's like, see, I had a good one. And the next one's shit again. But when he has a little bit of competition behind him, I think that he squeezes it out a little bit more. And for me, that's a positive thing. And I want to see more of Cedric. That's it.
Yeah, you muted, Tanner, so keep going. Keep talking.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah, so keep talking, Stan.
Yeah, so,
whoops. I think if he's going to get it, he's not going to unseat Kieran Tierney at left back. So if he's going to get a run, he's got to get it right back.
Yeah.
So that's the only point I was going to make. There's something there with him.
Miss Lippy's car is green. It reminds me when you say that. Yeah, what about he's gonna not unsit Tierney?
Hey, what about you, Sideburns? You want some of this milk?
Stupid.
Dude, I could quote that movie all night. Anyway, moving on. Anybody else on Cedric before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, me and Stan were probably his biggest critics of the 4 of us. I didn't like it. I didn't like the signing. I didn't understand it at all. Slowly started warming up to him. Like, yeah, he's got okay crosses. He's a really good set piece taker, but I don't really care about that. But, he's kind of what we talked about with Pepe. He's gotten a fairly consistent run of games in it, and he's kind of, shown his worth, proven his worth a little bit. And I think he he offers just something that Bellerin doesn't, and I think he just plays, a completely different game than Bellerin does. And I think we're just so used to Bellerin having those games where he just gets the ball, cuts inside, gets the ball, cuts inside. Maybe he makes a dribble, he gets into the 18-yard box, he tries to cross it, hits the first guy. Well, he got into the box, so that's good, And I think he just offers that. I don't know really how to explain. He just has that he just offers that he has a lot of power and just he's quick. He's fairly quick. Also, I think we could use him in different ways, and we could use him in different tactically. We could kind of use him how we see fit and how Arteta sees fit, and having an extra set piece taker is always good. Having someone who could ping the ball from our final third to theirs, from the halfway line to their final third, making a cross. He had that really nice play. Was it against Newcastle, where the ball? It was very close. I don't know if it went in. I don't know if it went out or not, but it was very close, and he made a really nice play. Inside the 18, and he got that cross to Aubameyang. But yeah, I really like the way he's playing. I like the passion that he's showing. His work rate is really good, and I think he should be getting a more consistent run of games. And it's tough too, because I do know that I don't think Bellerin's as bad as people are saying he's being, but I don't really agree with the way he's been playing. I don't know if he doesn't offer us as much as Cedric does, and it's just odd because
he doesn't suit what Arteta wants to do with his fullbacks. Is he wants them to put the ball into the box. He wants crosses from Tierney and whoever the right back is going to be. That's Cedric. Arteta needs to look at the two players and say, who fits my system better?
And I also think throws a kind of wrench everything. Bellerin wore the armband today. Bellerin was the captain.
To lie down at free kicks, or is he just a bit fucking knackered at the time? Is that?
Yeah, you saw that. I was.
That's the worst. I don't like that tactic. This line, someone lying down behind the wall. I'm not buying into it. There's something about it that just seems fucking wrong.
Maitland Niles did it earlier in the year.
Yeah, I know. It's something about it. It's just I expected to hold on a minute. We're setting up the wall, and then someone runs on with a blanket and a cushion, and then the guy gets tucked in, and then the free kick, and then someone runs on and takes off the cushion again. I just don't buy it.
It's very, very strange. I don't really know what we're gonna do, because I do think Cedric's playing a lot better, and I think he offers us more. But what are we gonna do with Bellerin? Because let's be real here. He was our captain for this game. He's obviously someone that Arteta holds in high regard for. Someone made a joke about Twitter saying, oh, Bellerin's so bad, but talked all this crap about Bellerin, but and then the very end of the tweet goes, yeah, he's so lucky that his dad's the coach. Which honestly, I can't even argue that.
That's good.
He's like Triple H being married to Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's just inheriting the world, isn't he? He's just going to inherit it.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see, because it's not a good problem, because I'm starting to really sour on Hector as we kind of talk this through. But I just hope that we can get it sorted, because as
he's not going anywhere.
Knowledgeable Tanner said that he's not gonna dethrone Kieran Tierney. So no, fight for right back.
Yeah.
Ryan said it quite well, but the only thing was he said that I'm warming up to Cedric, and then for about 10 minutes went on singing praises about Cedric and how great he is at everything that he does. I was like, mate, you're in love with him. Who are you kidding?
Don't tell Mateo. Don't tell Mateo.
Sending him a Valentine's card.
Hey, Valentine's Day. A couple weeks. He
looks good. I want to see more of him. If a player's in form and they're doing well, keep him in. Just keep him in. That's the key, right?
The issue was not with him. The issue was signing him on a deal and not playing him. right? And that was an Arsenal issue. That wasn't a Cedric issue. Whenever he's played, I said this before, he's looked okay. He's had a few off days in the Europa League, but whenever he's played in the league, etc., he's looked pretty okay. And he's got a mean cross on him, and I like that. And I like that he's not that high-profile player who's creating too many issues in the team. So I generally like him. And he covered at left back. And the switch that he did for the third goal, that was the main move that created. I mean, Saka's cross was also just as important because he had to control it on his weaker foot one time, pass it in. That was brilliant. But that switch of play was just brilliant as well. So Cedric's, I want to see him playing. I'm not a big fan of Bellerin still. I can't get over the number of times he switches off, even in this game, actually. I mean, Ryan's been critical of Pepe. I'd say like Bellerin wasn't great, and he looked off the pace a couple of times, and he got run in behind a couple of times. It just was that they didn't have the best of crosses in. So, that could have been an issue, but it's okay. Cedric is good, and I feel comfortable with him stepping in. He doesn't look like fish out of water in that situation. So that's great. And so Cedric, and we've got him for 3 years. When he came in, I was like, he can't break into the Southampton team. What makes him so special that he should play for Arsenal? But as soon as he signs for Arsenal, I'm all in. He should be the best player. He could be the best player. I want him to be the best player in the world, and that's what I expect of him each week. And I think the team is doing well. The morale is high. So yeah, everybody jump on and ride the wave. And this is a signing which I thought was underwhelming. Odegaard is a sign that is hopeful, but a shrewd bit of business, and we don't need to get like much into it. It's okay. Just want to mention that we've signed a goalkeeper, right? Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
and that's amazing.
I like that deal. I like that.
Premier League experience won't make much noise. He's perfect cover, and we've done it without it breaking to the media. So that's amazing. Well played, Arse.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm more excited about. I know again, I'm gonna get hate. I think I'm more excited about that than the Odegaard signing. I think he's a perfect signing for us.
Perfect. Could mean more, but let's knock on wood. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But
just touching on the Cedric thing, I suppose it did now, like you said, it's like we bought this guy, we didn't play him, and anytime we saw any pictures of him, he had like this Phantom of the Opera mask on, like he'd been skulking around in the sewers underneath the training ground, and you got these rare glimpses of him, a bit like Bigfoot. It's like, who is that in the strange Phantom of the Opera mask? Michael Crawford, but that's for our English listeners. None of you three even know who Michael Crawford is, but that's
first of all, bite your tongue, sir. I know exactly who Michael Crawford is.
Oh, you do? Okay, what? Some mothers do have them.
What's that?
Some mothers do have them. No?
Some of us do have him? What?
Some mothers do have them. That is his.
Oh! I thought you said some of us do have.
Yeah.
Have what?
That was his big show, Frank Spencer. I could have been the trouble. Okay,
I only know for fan of the opera, but I know who he is.
Trust me, you're all thinking, what's he doing? The English viewers are going, big up, man. Big up, Stan. I love it. They thought that he just walked in the room when I said that. I could have been the trouble. They thought he just walked in the room again. But let's move on.
No, you move on. We've moved on. Anyway, you guys want to get in our last words here, and we're going to get out of here because we're right at about 2 hours. So, Ryan, last word. Keep it short.
I am
good enough. Clap your hands. That works. Moving on.
I am not excited, but so excited to play Man U over the weekend. Everyone knows I despise them more than Tottenham. So we need these 3 points, and I think if we play the way we've been playing, and hopefully if Tierney comes back, I think we should be able to beat them. The guys that are top of the league that think this shit don't stink. And I do. I talk about how I'm warming up to Cedric, and I'm warming up. And by warming up to Cedric, he's my Portuguese princess. It's no big deal. It's just a little side gig I have. but I am gonna probably just buy his jersey right now. I have it all set in Arsenal Direct. So you know what? Things are getting kind of serious. Things are getting kind of serious. So
he's talking about buying the ring.
So to my Portuguese princess, I love you, and I hope you start against Man U on Saturday.
Stan, last word.
Yeah, you know what my last word is going to be? My last word is that I really enjoy coming here on a Tuesday talking with you three about what's been happening with Arsenal over the last week, and more than that, to the 12th man, those of you that are in the chat box, those of you that are listening on the replay. It always surprises me that people actually want to fucking come here every week and listen to what we have to say about Arsenal. But I'm so glad you do. And I'm so glad that you will participate with us and you keep coming back, because, without you guys, then it's just four geezers having a beer and talking about Arsenal. So thank you for coming back and joining us.
Here. Rohan?
Oh, I echo Stan's thoughts, right? Like, Arsenal keeps us motivated week to week. We want to go and watch it, keeps us hopeful. We keep track of it and it gets us excited. It gets us down. But, the show is a constant, and all of you guys and everyone in the comments, I slept at 4 a.m. and I was pretty damn sure that I wasn't going to be able to make it. But then, I just sort of got up and I was like, this is gonna be great, because we won, and I'm gonna talk to my mates, and I'm gonna talk to everyone in the chat box who are also my mates, and it's gonna be one time that I don't think about all of the other things that go on in life, right? Like this is great. So amazing time, and look forward to now playing Manchester United. And, let's get them off of their wave that they're riding. We've beaten them at their turf. They've got a very good away record. They haven't lost an away games for the past year. And, for us, our home record has sort of not been very great this season. But generally, Emirates is a fortress. And I expect us to, come out off the box with confidence, two teams with confidence, and we expect to take them to task. That's what I expect. And next week, again, we'll all be back, and we'll all have a conversation and our views, and I look forward to that.
Here. Yeah, I'm gonna echo what Stan said. Of course, everybody in the chat box, thank you guys all so much. Honestly, it's great. Like Stan said, it's great to come on and chat with these three. For an hour and a half, 2 hours as we typically do here. But yeah, it's always fun. But you guys are what keep it going for sure. So really appreciate you guys being out there. Ryan, you're going to get one last final word. This is one more once. One more. I gotta be honest.
I didn't appreciate Stan being a complete asshole. Obviously, I like talking to you guys in the most of the chat. Now, I appreciate all this. It's always fun. I get to sit here, drink my Arsenal glass and a beer. It's always fun. But what I did really want to say was tomorrow, Arse Bros, the big Ozil debate. Arse Bros. We're gonna have Manny from the Arse Bros debate a pro Ozil fan. His name's Ben. I don't know his Twitter handle offhand. Max is gonna be the referee, and they're gonna have I guess for Arse Bros, it's gonna be a somewhat civilized debate about Ozil. So everyone should tune in. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm real excited. I think they're going live at 4:00 UK time. So that would be 9 p.m.
Right, man.
That would be
shit down.
That would be that's going to be 9:00 Eastern Standard, and that would be I can't do time. That would be 6:00 Pacific Standard.
Oh, an evening after work. Oh, okay. I'm there.
So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm real excited. I'm going to be coming home. I'm going to be Oh wait, dude, I'm an idiot. Hold on. No.
It's 4:00 UK time.
It's 9 o'clock UK time. 4:00 Eastern Standard Time, 1:00 Pacific Standard Time. So it's at 1:00 staying for you.
Hang on, 1 o'clock in the morning or the afternoon?
No,
Afternoon.
It's gonna be 9 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming home right from work. I'm gonna be exhausted, but it's gonna be fun. So everyone should tune in, and you can all have one last stone to throw at Ozil, or do the opposite, which I don't know what the opposite of throwing stones are, but yeah,
Catching stones.
yeah, maybe catching Ozil stones, or
I don't.
or
I don't know.
a penny in the wishing well. I don't know.
Anyway, guys, that's it for us. Good footy talk. We'll see you out there.